Hi, I'm Veronica Schultz, the Soul Whisperer, and last week we talked about having a thankful heart and starting a journal, and I'd like to know how you did with that. Were you able to write what you were thankful for in that journal? If you did, that's really, really great, and if not, I want to encourage you to start this week and get your journal. Again, I use one that looks like this. It's just a normal college composition book, and I don't know if you can see, but I write my stuff in it and date it. And you don't have to be embarrassed about what you write. Don't think, will anyone read this? It's secretive, and I'm not saying that it's not important to you. It is very important, but that limits us, and that leads right into what I want to talk about next, is excuses. I want to know, I guess I want to start with, I used to make excuses for a lot of things. I didn't even realize that I made excuses for them, but I did, and I put a cap on just about everything that I did. And what that means is that I limited myself on what I could do, on how successful I could be, on how many friends I could have, on how influential I am. And I realized that I had excuses for all of those caps. And they weren't anything, I wasn't born with making these excuses. I mean, these excuses came with things that happened to me in my life. Pains, someone hurtful said something to me, and I didn't want to experience pain again, which no one does, but there's a right way and a wrong way to handle a painful statement that someone gives to you, and I handled it the wrong way. So I began making excuses about what I could do and what I couldn't do, because people spoke into my life about my cap on everything. So I want to ask you, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in a year from now? With whatever your goals are, if you want to be a fantastic mother, if you want to be a fantastic wife, or let's talk about men. Do you want to be a fantastic father, or a fantastic husband? How successful do you want to be in your career? How much money do you want to make? How comfortable are you with the thought of making enough money that you could spend a great deal of time with your family and not have to work all the time? Does that thought scare you? And see, that's a cap. So the next question I have for you is, are you open to learning? It requires honesty and it requires transparency. And those are two painful things to do. My husband and I were talking about that today. And he said something really great. He said, as we were talking, some of his stuff came up, and we talked about that, and then when we were done, he said, you know what, Veronica? He said, when we were talking about that, it was so true. And yet, I felt myself wanting to fight it. I felt the stubbornness. I felt me wanting to defend myself. And I recognized that I've been having caps in my life, that I've been making excuses why I can't, why I shouldn't, why I don't have, when I can have anything and everything. What makes me different from anyone else? So, anyways, just to finish up here, I'm sorry, I lost my connection. I'm doing 2 videos, one on here to send out and with you, so I'll do my focus on you now. But I did ask you if you started your journal, and I'm going to encourage you to do it again. And this week, I want you to write what excuses you find yourself making, and I want you to jot them down. Because when we know what we're saying, then we know how to counteract that. And we know how to change that to a positive inner dialogue. Anyways, this is Veronica Schultz, the Soul Whisperer. I've enjoyed my time with you. I'll see you next week. Toodaloo.